Okay, so I've decided to go over a couple things that I've been working on, just within my game. I take a bit of time off from going through the dungeon and collecting blocks and bricks and stuff, and I'll bring them back and I'll try and make myself a base. So, I prefer building one in kind of a horizontal fashion because I think it adds a nice dynamic to having a homely feel of a base. I gave all the villagers a little bit of land, sort of, and the trees are all placed intentionally in the dirt, and just having the wooden blocks here and there. I try to do things deliberately, so at least it feels like it's something that I created. And I know some people don't really spend a lot of time doing base building, especially in this game, but I really enjoy it. I don't think the game is a base building centric game so much, but I think it's a nice dynamic to have when you need to step away from doing a boss or a run or a set of bosses. So it's nice to come back here and kind of decompress, if you will. So I gave these villagers a little more space. They have actual land over here. But once I had placed all the prefabricated buildings down, I realized that I should make my own. So I did just that, and I made some towers and huts and shacks and such like that. And it's just a kind of nice way to put your signature in your own game. And this goes into a tree farm and into one of my towers. This is a small tower actually, but we don't need to go to the bigger tower to the west, because at the moment there's nothing over there. So, but after taking a nice break, right here on my podium, I'll get back to base building. And having played a lot of Diablo 1 and 2, I was a big fan of the atmospheres in those games. The lighting and the tension, very cool, very well paced. So I took, some kind of feeling I could take from those games and put them in my own world, and I've made these hanging torchlights. Kind of adds a bit of a, this own dynamic to my game. These torchlights span across most of my hallways. Some places have no light at all, like there's a bed here, and I like that you can't see it. If you get just far enough away, you're out of view, because I think being able to see everything sometimes takes away the suspense of what it could be. So I don't always have light in all my base areas. Down here I have a random tree farm and a few other farms, and spring just started pretty much, and so I've been placing my seeds down. I had half a stash filled of seeds, but at this point I've actually stopped picking them up because I've got so many. Now that I use them from time to time, but mushrooms have been pretty helpful as well. So as we go deeper down, it gets a little darker, and I'll put some time into making some towers and some other things like this. So here's one that kind of takes from the idea of the one on the surface with the wizard, I think, where you do the world reset. And I use this as a bit of a mini crafting station. There's a bed here. Beside it, I have one of my castles. Similar torchlight system down here. I have all kinds of various things I'm working on as far as the designs go. Some things don't make any sense, and I guess that's part of the fun. I mean, one day I'll maybe make an actual castle, but I'm thinking of doing that on my next character. So, over here, this goes to a dead end. That's right, I rolled it off. This used to be my old elevator right here, where we're standing. But I've since done some changes. Oh, what happened over here? Okay, so nothing. And in other parts of my base, I'll have this kind of lighting, which is like a spotlight. Kind of like a drop-down spotlight. And that's even to take away from having too much light. Like that's pretty good right there, I think, actually. Yeah. I had too much before, so I just took one away. And when you get things just right, it kind of becomes your own too. So down here I have a few more of these. They're actually everywhere. I've got these torchlights everywhere. But the deeper you go, the more I kept things kind of natural too. I didn't want to resurface all the areas. I left the dirt here, and I left the mud and the gold, and I kept things natural, intentional. And so I have another tower here using the old cobblestone because it has its own style to it. I think it gives it that worn out kind of appearance. And some more areas over here that lead into more organic spots. Like, oh yeah, these guys are also all alive, a whole bunch of them. Perhaps I'll kill them. Perhaps I won't do anything. Who's to say, really? So if you look on a map, you can see how much of the map I've begun taking up. And it's gone to a point actually where teleporting is much faster. I mean, why would I not teleport with a base this size? Honestly, at this point. But I think you get an idea of just how I did the torchlight system. They're actually everywhere. Because who needs light, really? I don't want too much light. And maybe one day I'll eventually add into this, but I mean, this is actually just my second character. And I've been playing the game for now 3 weeks, so it's new. But I think as time goes on, I'm going to make a bunch of changes. I'll probably do all the background, so it's been redone into wood, and on my next character, which will be an enchanter, I will probably make a giant castle with a few doors and rooms, and I'll see what I can try there. I'll use some different blocks, but until then, these are always a work in progress, and I just wanted to share with the community, and maybe people will get talking and show off their bases as well, because that always sparks some excitement sometimes too. So until next time, I will see you all then when I have a new video.